Shit. Okay, so I'm always not ready. I guess none of us have time to be ready in this. We already went through the last chance phase. We're on the tail end of it, and Jesus. If you watch my previous um, last two uploads, you understand. If you're new to all of this, who a little more about who Jesus is, but I don't have the time, and I bet you don't have the patience for me to go back through everything. But Jesus wants me to reveal his painting of me. I often get my things twisted and say drawing, because the thing is, he had me do all these drawings that were prophesizing a lot. That's what's gonna happen with Hawaii and San Francisco, Cali, or not Oregon yet, but anyways, when I look at the painting he did of me, it makes me think of the colored pencils, because even though I could show you now the colored pencils, the what I've colored in the art that he's taken me to color, they wouldn't do justice by taking a picture or video, and it makes me think of drawing. But this is a painting, I understand, he did of me. How he came about showing me this painting that I'm about to show you, because he wants me to show the world what I truly look like, saying that I was put in the wrong body. Mind you, I've been following this man since I was 2, but I knew it as I'm following energy, and this is before I could even speak. I was in diapers, and that evolved over time into where I was calling it, well, I follow energy, or I can bend energy, and even like stop time temporarily, manipulate time temporarily. And people are like, what? The few that I told. And where do I start? He wants me to talk about the painting. Oh, so I can get sidetracked with everything that's going through my mind. He's over the course of time, he's revealed to me who I am, and what some may call remembrance. How he did that was explaining to me at some point that I'm actually a male in a female's body, and helping me to understand why some people are the whole thing about clones, and why some people insist that they're in the wrong body, because it's probably like a 99.99999 chance that they are in the wrong body, whether that's gender related or not. He took me through this process of understanding, and then he tells me his name, and he spells it out for me, which is Jesus, and he says they spell it wrong, and that he is actually, he through all this time, reveals to me that he's the man that people call Jesus Christ. And he's like, well, how do Mexicans pronounce Jesus? And I was like, Jesus. He's like, but they spell it wrong. And even people who spell Zeus spell it wrong. It's Jezus, not Zeus. Anyways, a lot I could educate you guys about that. The bottom line is, through this revelation he's given to me, he tells me, I'm the second coming. People have it all wrong. But he's already been back to earth more than one time. He was once as the man they call Jesus Christ, but his name is Jesus, and he's very insistent on that. And he's very insistent on who they call Mary is Maria. And there's what we relate to Mexican roots or Spanish. That's why the name got changed to Mary by the white man, the white vampire. It's really Maria. And there's a whole lot to understand about that. She really wasn't a good person. His pair that rented him were there to control him. They were not good people. Okay, so I leave that there for now. In his revelation of who he is and who I am, he tells me, I also have been on this earth more than once as Genghis Khan. And then the more than once was, it's like he had died in war. But ETs don't die, so he actually came back, and people didn't know he had died that are not ET, because when you are in your actual body, which he was as Genghis Khan, that when you're an ET, just go back to your regular body. If they have taken you, put you in a human body, when your human body perishes, you'll go back to your ET body. Well, he was a warrior as Genghis Khan. Me in the middle realm as this older story called the King and I. And that's a whole nother revelation to give to you all. But it wasn't on earth. I was that Mongolian, and he was a Mongolian, which really derived from the Maori, and that's a whole nother thing. They are not Hawaiians. So he tells me I was Genghis Khan, basically like 3 lifetimes is my understanding as Genghis Khan. Genghis Khan, if y'all look him up, he overtook he was a great emperor, and he told me he had his powers as Jesus or Jesus and as Genghis Khan. I got sent here and they bound me. They took my powers, which is foul and wrong in every way. Okay. In him, again, and I'm repeating this because study, you need to have it pounded into your head. In this revelation of helping me understand who he was, of course I'm looking up Genghis Khan because he's like the man they described as Jesus. That's not how I looked. I looked like Genghis Khan. So I get to looking up Genghis Khan, and I'm like, he takes me to a post of this young man who went through a death transformation, which means him coming back after 17 minutes dead means he was put here on earth in his actual body. So he was fortunate enough to be in his actual body. When he came back, he was talking to his earth mother, whoever that is, and he was telling her, I saw Jesus. And he's describing all this to her, and he says, but it was weird because he was fit. And he told me I will be okay. And it just brought him to tears. So Jesus tells me, number one, he only can go to so many people. He can't be everywhere at one time. It is soul contract, meaning negotiated contract, family lineage, as to why he would show up for people. So when people feel and they think it's Jesus, it could be their ancestors. He has shown up because he is the one healer next to me being the other healer. But again, my powers are bound. I only have so much power. I have very, very little power. Whereas he had his power. So he could heal. He could do a whole lot of things. So now, I thought I was smelling fire. So, as he's telling me I was Genghis Khan, people don't know. I have already been back. But even then, they have the second coming all wrong. You are the second one coming. You're the second chosen coming. Not that either one of us should have been here, but I was the first. You are the second Messiah. You are the second coming. We're going through all this stuff in this conversation, and I'm like, so you're Genghis Khan, but you say that's not quite you, because they portrayed the Genghis Khan as a heavy, overweighted person, at least in this Marco Polo series on Netflix. And he's like, I was at one point in time, because Zeus, and that's a whole other thing when you guys start to understand who Zeus is. Zeus would attack him and his body would look fat, right? He did it to our a true mother, like biological mother, and he's been doing, people have been doing that to me in my time on earth. So when you go under like electrical and frequency attack, and it makes your body, he would say, like a blowfish, like, and he would show me how if people touch and agitate a fish that's called a blowfish, it automatically expands. Well, that's exactly what happens to me. And he was teaching me to understand this, because he's like, in your life when you've gone back down in size, and then all of a sudden, like, I'm just big again, like literally in the day. I could eat something, take a shower even, and I'm just like, all of a sudden I'm like, got all this weight to me. He's like, you're under spiritual attack. You've been under spiritual attack since you were very young. So, shit. Here I am. Okay. So, in this whole revelation, I'm like, but I want to know what you really look like. And he's like, I will show you. It's close to what they say, but not quite. I am not fat, as they depict in like this series Marco Polo that I had you watch, is his words to me. That's only when I was under spiritual attack. So then he takes me to this posting of this kid in social media saying it was really weird, he was fit. And when that kid said that, it said a lot to me, because Jesus has shown me postings of people who are muscular, and that is not the idea of the man Jesus Christ. But his whole thing was, but there's times I went hungry. So I was like you. You have gone in my footsteps. And so then he tells me, one day he wakes me up, and we get doing our regular thing, and he's like, I'm gonna show you what I look like online. And I think a few days went by before he actually showed it to me, and I was like, kind of like, when you gonna show me? And then one day before, with me, like, I'd let it go, he takes me online. He's like, I'm gonna show you who I am. And I'm like, yes, and finally, because it's like, I've been feeling this energy my whole life. Everyone, you say, has the wrong idea of what Jesus Christ looks like, and that he looks close to Genghis Khan, but he's not. Yay, like, finally. And he takes me to Google, has me Google Genghis Khan, and then I'm seeing all these black-haired men, which what he told me is me and him are red-haired. And he told me that me and him, we are very dark-skinned, like Asian looking. And the whole breakdown of that lineage is a whole nother thing. But the bottom line is, he said we had red hair. So I'm like, but Genghis Khan, they're showing, has black hair. And he's like, yeah, it's false. And I'm like, why would that be? Right? So as I'm scrolling through all these pictures, it's like endless. And he's like, keep going, keep going. And so I listen, like I always do. And I keep going, and then he just goes, boom, stop. Because I'm kind of going fast at this point, because there's so many fucking images of Genghis Khan with black hair. Oh, my bad. He says, at some point he said stop, and he's like, now put Genghis Khan with red hair. And so then I'm seeing, holy shit, why do some people know that he has red hair and some people know he has black hair? And now as I'm processing it with you, were you here with black hair and you're here with red hair? Okay, so he was here on earth with black hair, and he was here on earth with the red hair. 3 lifetimes. And I just revealed that in this moment here with you. Okay, that's the power of reflection and process and analyzing. Okay, so that's cool. Great to know. So in this another attempt of understanding what Genghis Khan looks like, he tells me put Genghis Khan red hair in the Google, and I did. But yet I'm scrolling. He's like, no, don't quite look like that. And then he goes, that's what I look most like. And I'm like, okay. So I've gone months knowing that this picture that he showed me that looks like a drawing, but it's a painting, is what he looks most like. Okay. That note was taken into the memory bank, but I just took that as that was him. And then we go through these months, and he's like, I will show you what you look like, who you were in the past life with the photo. And I'm like, whoa, okay. Yes. I can't wait for this. And he, through that course of time, tells me, we're from the same pact. I'm not your father. I'm not your brother. I know I came to you like a father, and I know I came to you like a brother, but we are neither. And he showed me this song where someone's singing, like, I think it's a white guy, and he's saying how he's saying, I'm not your father, I'm not your brother. And then I knew I'd heard that song before, but now I understood the depth furthermore of that song. I'd probably learn a lot more if I go back and listen to the song again. But it took a long time for him to reveal who I was, with being an extraterrestrial, but also who I was to him, and that being gay was not bad. And I never felt like it was. I felt society wanted me to think it was. He also brought to me of understanding that I'm an alpha and he's an alpha. He also brought to me understanding that we were divine partners. He also brought to me the understanding that many people didn't want us together. Then he brought to me the understanding, because we're both powerful individuals, but I'm actually more powerful than him, is what he says. I find that hard to believe, but he's proven me wrong in so many situations that I can't help but believe him and whatever he says. And he's gave me so much confirmations over time that I'd be foolish not to believe him. And so he shows me this picture, and this is what he wanted me to give this video recording about, to show you guys the picture, which is me, that he drew of me. And he says it's why people get also confused on the true information about the man they call Jesus. They say Jesus was in robes, but the thing is, it was Mongolian robes and fine clothing. And he says that's why I have such expensive taste, which I do. I can definitely do without, but I have expensive fucking taste, and it's not a label or a brand. It has to do with the fabric. It has to do with how the fabric feels, how the fabric lays, when it's folded, when it's not folded. My mind is very particular about the socks that are on my fucking feet. And he says, because I come from royalty. And so he shows me this picture, finally, through scrolling, as this is what he looks most like, and to understand that we come from the same pack that looks very much alike, a lot of us, meaning we look like Zeus, who's a horrible person. He related it to, say, the Aboriginals in Australia, and he's brought me to them over the course of time, and this is all leading up to this moment. And he's like, do they not all look very much alike? I'm like, oh my God, like, so, like, they have incest like crazy. And he's like, well, because they do, but it's good to keep it within your pack. It's not saying you can't, you may not have a divine partner in another pack. You may have a divine partner in another pack. But for the earthly realm, it's good to keep your existences within your pack. And that is to be understood later. So that's why the Aboriginals all look so much alike on Earth. Okay, so moving on from there, he then tells me, eventually, after showing me this picture, I had the painting for months, and then eventually I'm like pissed off with him, like, you said you were gonna show me what I look like. Why haven't you not shown me what I look like? Like, I'm pissed off at this point, because I feel like I've been dragged about, and he's had to reiterate to me sometimes that he has to give me things in terms of the chaos theory, which, if you look it up, the chaos theory means It's giving things out of chronological and linear order, so as to confuse the evils. So it has to come in these like 100,000 piece puzzle that you eventually put together, but you can't know the chronological order because it's to throw off the enemy and to confuse the enemy, because they can't watch everyone that closely. By the time that the individual who that puzzle piece matters to puts it together, they're far behind. So in that revelation of my 100,000 piece puzzle, he finally says, I have shown you what you look like. And I'm like, no, you haven't, and I'm like wanting to cuss because I'm pissed off. And so he goes into my phone and he pulls up the picture he had me saved, which I know is Genghis Khan. And while there's all these pictures of Genghis Khan, he doesn't look like any of them. He looks the closest to this picture. So I saved it because I find it to be a very handsome man. And in my life and journey, I've been dealing with women and loving the energy of women, open to both sexes, but finding myself mainly with women. And he's like, because you're an alpha. And why do you always have the energy that you want to be on top? And I'm like, I do have the energy that and not like woman to woman. Like, I want to give. And he's like, you have a lot of energy, and the alphas give and the others receive, but the things were both alphas. And why would you see like your female dog wanting to hump other dogs? And I'm like, she was an alpha. And he's like, mm-hmm. And I'm like, oh my fucking God. He's like, that's the way dogs, which you are from wolves, will assert themselves. And that's just, it's a first-hand thing, nature thing. So it's okay. And there's actually masculine alphas, very few, masculine bottoms, very few. Being gay is not a bad thing, but there are very few masculine bottoms, and you're a top, and I'm a bottom, and I'm okay with that. And I'm like, for me knowing my sexual energy, I'm like, oh my fucking God. But thank God, because I'm so attracted to this man that I saw a picture of, but then I lost attraction because he tells me, go through your phone and I'm going to show you, I sent you the picture already. And I'm like, okay, let me go through my phone. And he takes me to the painting. And I'm like, no, like, that's you. And he's like, no, remember, what did I say? I said that this is who you look the most like of Genghis Khan. And he's like, yeah, say that again. And I'm like, this is who you look the most like. And you said we are like twin flames, and we're from a pack that everyone looks, what are you saying? And he's like, I drew that of you. I painted that of you. I always say drew. I don't know why I say drew. I'm so sorry, because he has to correct me. He's like, no, I painted it. It's painting. I think because I saw what miraculous things people can draw. And it's hard to tell that this is a painting. Whereas one way or another, it's realism art. And anyhow, I stopped being attracted to the picture because he told me it's me. And he pulled me tonight to finally reveal, to follow up the most recent video that I did, which must mean we're at the end of this world as we know it. And he wants me to show you guys who I really look like, because the ancients that are grandmasters, they already know. But for the ones that haven't caught on, this is so they can know, because they are watching me through my everything, my phone, my camera, my audio, my social media, and this is the time to reveal it. So I'm going to show you right now. A couple things I just want you guys to take note is the Mongolian robes. Why people thought Jesus wore robes, he did, but they were like this one that I'm wearing. And this is more like what he looked like. But this is his painting of me. And I've been put into the body of a female so they could hide me and hold my body hostage under a church, which he now has recovered. So when you guys see me resurface, he says I'll be back for a couple months to help straighten some things out with those that are left behind and teach those that are on the new planet. But this is me. This is what a Mongolian Maori really looks like, with the exception of I don't have my tattoos, he says. But when I get back to my new body, I will wake up and I will have gone through a full session to restore the tattoos that I have that are original and from my journey that I've been snatched here on Earth. And so you'll see that guy with some facial tattoos. And my understanding is a tattoo that will wrap from my neck, which I don't know if y'all can see. He had me get this symbol, which is actually in Chinese, when I was like 23 in Georgia. And when he took me to, I followed him to a tattoo place. He had me pick up a book and he's like, get that one. And it was the symbol of truth. And he said a lot of Chinese will not know what it means because it's from ancient times. It's like small village. Not all Chinese know what that means, but he will know that that is me. And people will remember when I am walking away that I am the symbol of truth. So that's what that means. And I will have a tattoo that wraps, from my understanding, from all the way from my symbol of truth down my face, down my abdomen, to my quote-unquote privacy. And that will be my journey. It will reflect my journey since I have been born on Earth. So there it is. That's what he looks closest to. But he says that my eyes are aqua and not just aqua blue or aqua sea green. It's a both somehow. And that around my iris is a strong resemblance of the sun. That my eyes are gold like the sun. And that he loves my eyes. And he says that I'm part mermaid on top of all my other mixes give me different spirit animals. So one of them is mermaid. And that's where the aqua color comes in. But he would call me daughter of the sun, and that's why he would say, you're not actually... because he was like, there's a mermaid tribe that you start out as a female and you turn into a male. Physically, literally. Like, he would tell me that before I knew what that was, he would tell me that I was going to go through this transformation where it wasn't quite my metamorphosis, but it was a transformation. And I would evolve from woman into man. And he explained to me, like, if they can do it with a pill, can I not do it? I'm the Almighty. You are now the Messiah. I am now the Almighty. Our Papa is retiring. So it's like we are not only upgrading, but like taking on another position in assistance of just everyone in the universe in harmony and love and light. And so um, he becomes the Almighty, and I become the Messiah and the ruler of Earth. The thing is, a lot of people haven't listened and they thought us crazy, and a lot has changed as far as what's going to happen. So Earth will become new Earth after all the destruction, and the really tumultuous individuals will be stuck here with the originators of this realm, which is demons. And but the thing is, he's taking out Africa and Australia. So I don't know how many pureblood demons there will be, because he said there'll only be 5 continents, and after people do their journey on this destroyed Earth, because they're the really troubled ones, if they pass, they'll have the opportunity to go to the new planet. If they pass their go on their walkabout, so to speak, if they pass their rites of passage on the new planet, then they will be returned to wherever they come from in the universe. The thing is, their planet will not take them back without either justice being verified, because some are falsely imprisoned on Earth and some are banished. So, but their new planet will not take them back without their justice being defined, and or them going on their rites of passage. I, being the tree of life, the book of knowledge, as he puts it, also the flower of life. It's but more, not most importantly, but importantly, I'm the book of knowledge, meaning there's only one of us, which he was the one. He will still have the knowledge, but he's like upgraded to the Almighty, and our Papa, who had all the knowledge, retires. I, as far as anyone in the realm of Earth, even though I don't have to reside on Earth or the new planet, I will have the knowledge of everything. So I can go through the records of time to see who's truly innocent, to understand what may have corrupted them, and give them proper justice, give the universe proper justice, plan their journey that they need to go on to see if they will fully awaken compassionately and consciously through all their chakras. And then ultimately their ultimate gift will be divine partnership, meaning they'll be matched with someone that is matches their sacred energy, and could most likely be someone from their past life. I will be able to grant that, or I will grant non-existence if they decide that they don't want to be in limbo, in this journey, anything. They'll have the gift of non-existence. And then some will just be sentenced to non-existence because they're ancients that did all this fuckery to all of us and hurt us, and we're ever gonna change. Because as it turns out, Earth was the new planet. So Jesus asked me a long time ago, what do you want to do? What do you think we should do with the humans? What do you think we should do with the human ETs? You're the boss. You're the undercover boss. What you say goes. And I'm like, well, I would still never, ever leave any circumstance to that, because I think that there needs advising and counsel and community opinion matters in certain circumstances. And if our Holy Trinities is still existent, me, him, and our Papa, I would still seek their advice and guidance before I made a final decision. And so, but the thing is, it's up to me. And this whole time I've been on Earth, I just didn't know it. He's like, you're basically like the mafia boss in prison. We can't get yet, but you make the call and it's done. We can only push it so fast and so quick, depending on what it is, because we can't make people pick up the hammer and nail what they need to nail. We can't make them take action on their own kin. But if they don't take action on their own kin, eventually you will, but there's still due process. But you are the undercover boss. You are the bank. You are the landlord. You will decide what is. You are the ruler of this world. And I'm like, what? I don't want to be that. And he would be like, do you trust anyone else to be? And I'm like, yeah. Well, you and Papa, but I guess you guys have done your time. So, no, I don't trust anybody else to do that. I don't trust anybody else to help create and lead a world to provide in a way that people are living joyfully, doing what, having a chance to explore what they love, to find out how they want to contribute to the community, and a space to change that over time, 5-10 years, and evolve. And I know I have a great plan that could keep it all running very efficiently and smooth, to where people don't have to want, so we don't have people wanting to rob. And the rare individuals that are that greedy, well, they can be dealt with. They can be incarcerated and or gifted with non-existence if they don't want to be a part of the overall harmony and love and light. And I sum it up right there. He's applauding, so I feel like I did a good job. And I'll show you one last picture of me, which is very close to what he looks like. So when you guys see and have vision of what Jesus looks like, if you are not seeing this individual, you are not seeing the right one. So there you go. It's not woolly hair. The Jesus that was in the form of Jesus had woolly hair, but he wasn't in his actual body. But still, he says they didn't have the right depiction of who the man they call Jesus Christ is. So he says he does come back, but he's not the second coming. And he comes back, he's meeting very few people, and the people that do get the opportunity to meet him, they're not gonna want to, because the people he's confronting are people who have trespassed him or I, and he's not happy, of course, about it. And so I'm like, oh God, sorry, a lot of things go through my mind of what he's told me, and I wouldn't want to be those people either. So he does come back, but he says very few people will see him in person. But he does plan to do a public announcement before he shuts down the networks. And then at some point he will open up networks to certain disturbing communities that he believes can evolve and grow. And so, well, I can't wait to find out what he does with the public announcement, because he says there's something special supposed to be there for me. And so I look forward to it. Y'all gonna probably be taken quite shock about it. But I assume he want me to show that picture, so when he pops up on the screen, y'all are like, that is fucking the man, Jesus Christ. We're finally seeing him, but we're not granted to be privileged to see him in person, because the majority of the world didn't take care of him, nor did they take care of me. So welcome to the new era.